Hey VA, I fancy a Nando's. Do me a favor, list every single Nando's that exists in Leeds and their addresses. Thanks. We test the workflow, and check this out, guys. I come over, goes AI agent, he checks the model, he's going to check with the SERP API, and look at the response we get back. Right there, every single Nando's we've got, the city centre, Kirkstall, and how it works. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build a very simple AI agent in N8N. I'm going to show you how we can add a very easy to use RAG retrieval system, and also how we can update any document we wish to this database so that you can recall it at any time you want to. Now, this is going to look really different than Make, so I want to explain briefly, start with an overview of what we're going to cover, why we're covering it, and then I'm going to show you step by step how you can build this system with memory, with RAG retrieval, and as simple terms as humanly possible. So if you follow it step by step, you'll be able to use this system. Now, in my last video, I showed you a full system of how to build an AI agent in Make.com. Now, one of the really big differences between Make.com and N8N is that Make is linear. In other words, it starts from like the left and builds all the way over to the right. But one of the key differences with N8N is that it's a non-linear workflow. So for example, we can have this agent in this system here, and this agent can access multiple different tools, come back and then decide what it wants to do. So we don't have to make it sequential. I'd say that the flows in N8N can be simpler, but they're more complicated to learn. And which platform we use for which circumstance depends broadly on what we want to achieve. Almost in all cases, Make.com is going to be easier and simpler, but N8N does have some advantages in some respects. So I wanted to run through and show you how you build this in a sort of really simple way. Now, the basic flow of this is going to be this. We're going to send a message via Telegram. We can also use WhatsApp if we wish to, but I'm just going to use Telegram to keep it very simple, just like in my last automation. We've got the agent, which is this beautiful guy. We need to give him a little bit of a haircut, give him an upgrade on the emoji, but he's there ready to rock and roll. And then we've got a few key functionalities. The first one is going to be memory, its ability to retain knowledge. So what's really cool about this is we can add in this thing here, memory, which means that it will have retained context for either that chat window, that chat conversation, or for a certain period of time if we wish to. So if I said to it something like, hey, the secret number is 11, and he says, great, got it. And then I ask another message, hey, what's the secret number? It will know because it will have context of the conversation that we already had with it. On top of that, it's able to search our RAG database. If you're not familiar with what retrieval augmented generation is, think of it like an infinite bookshelf where we give either a million different pieces of information and it all goes into an individual drawer. And instead of like looking through every single piece of information, it only grabs the bits that are required based on a unique code that is generated. And it basically means we can give it near infinite memory, and it's way more dynamic to use and way quicker and just a lot better and scalable and more production ready than simply just giving it the information in the prompt. Now, we've got that as well. The other thing we've got is the tools. So I've just added some really basic, simple tools. So we've got the SERP API. I'll show you how to use that. That's its ability to go into Google and pull different informations from the SERP API. You can see all the different things that we can do here with this. It's really cool, actually. So I'll show you how you connect that and give it some internet access. There's other things we can do, like connect it to Perplexity and all these other different tools, and I can show you that in future videos if you'd like. The other tools we've got in there is a classic stuff like Gmail, Google Calendars, just really, really basic bread and butter stuff. And then ultimately what it will do is send a response back to us. So key features of this video. Now, built in N8N, it is modular, so you can then have agents that use other agents. We can even call other workflows at N8N, but just to keep this one very simple, because I wanted to build the system in a way that you really would just get it live and minimize any kind of like, tripwires that fall over. Again, you can trigger this with WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, whichever one you like to. You can also execute multiple different tools in one request. So we can use creating a draft and creating events and also checking Google and checking our database all with one simple thing, which I think is really flipping cool. And then also we've got all the other bits that I showed you as we go through that. So I think what I'd like to do first of all is we're going to build the AI agent together to get that functionality set up and ready. Once we've done that, I'm going to show you how you can create this RAG system, which is so friggin' simple. It's unbelievable. To the point that, guys, all you ever do, you upload any document of any type, and it'll just go straight through to Pinecone, and it figures everything else out with the automation itself, which I think is so refreshing and easy and simple. And then what we do at the end of it, we've even got these recursive character text splitters, which, by the way, if you reference, I'll explain it when we get there, but if you like have a very long document or something, it will chunk it for us. So for example, if we have 1,000 characters in a document, we want the last 100 characters of that to then also be in the next one. So for continuity perspective, and we can pull the best information possible. But don't worry, that'll make sense when we get there. And then finally, how we can then use this vector store retrieval as a tool to get information. So we're gonna create a brand new scenario. Of course, if you want the blueprints, the agents, or the scenario, so you can literally just come over here, input from file, and get the entire automation pipeline automatically. That'll be available over in the school community. I'll pull link down below for you. So the first thing we do, guys, is we head over to n8n.com for this workflow, and you create a brand new workflow. Now, our first step here is going to be Telegram. So we come over here, and I'll try to explain some of the differences between this and Meg.com. And if this at any point feels complicated, that's absolutely fine. I'll do my very best to break this down for you step by step, and it will make sense if you stick through this. So the first thing we want to do now, one of the cool things that we can do with N8N, it has like an inbuilt chat functionality, which you can then go and embed on websites, which is really cool. But because we're building the next Java, well, you know, we're Iron Man, right? We want something that we can trigger really easily. So we're going to use Telegram for that. So all we do is we type in the beautiful words Telegram over here. We click this guy, and look at this, very, very easy. And we're going to click on message for trigger like this. And you're going to see a window that looks something like this. So the first thing we need to do is connect this with our Telegram account. So to do that, I'm going to come down here and you won't see this one, obviously. You'll need to create your credential like so, and you'll be looking for an access token. And to do that, guys, you come over to Telegram search functionality, and you're going to search for the bot folder like so. He'll pop up. You're then going to give him this particular thing here, which is /new bot like so. All right, we want to call name. What we're going to call it, we're going to call this one coffee. Actually, I'm going to say coffee with loads of ease. There we go. Beautiful. Can you imagine if that's taken? Okay, we need to give that with a .bot. That's absolutely fine. Come back over here, coffee bot. New bot. Oh my goodness. This guy needs his coffee. This is crazy. All right, cool. So we've got this. Okay, coffee_bot. Beautiful, it's done. And then it gives us this access token here, which is great. And all we do, guys, is we simply copy that. We come over to the access token, we enter it in, and then we click save. And just like that, we've created the credential for N8N. Now, you'll notice user interface is a little bit different than Make. Make is a lot more beginner friendly. It's like, I think the learning curve for N8N is slightly higher. It's more complicated for those people who really want to take it to a bit more of an advanced level. It's great. So that connection's been created. We like that. Trigger on message. That's absolutely fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to test a step over here. Once this Google thing decides it's fine to what's it. Cool. All right, cool. So we're going to come over to Telegram, where then we've got the coffee bot. We're going to start. I'm going to say, on a second. Hey there, and let's test a step. We come back over to Telegram, and we just enter the message in, and as it picked it up, we come and have a look. And do we see this? And just like that, guys, we see right there, hey there, it's pulled through the text. Awesome. But what we're going to do, guys, is we are going to pull through an audio message. So we're going to test this workflow like so. Come over to Telegram bot, and let's say, yo, what's up? Give me the 411. Bam, that's done. And as you can see, if we click on this guy, we can see basically we get this file ID. Cool. First thing we want to do is download the file. So we come over here to Telegram. It's pretty much just like I showed in the last video. It's the exact same steps I showed you in the video last week, where we have this thing and we set it up. But if you haven't seen that video, I'll just show you again here because we're basically just replicating it in N8N. Cool. So again, what we do, guys, is we type in here Telegram, we bring this guy up, and I'm going to go for get a file option, which is awesome. Now, the way it's a lot more program centric in the way the language works. So think of it like this. The way that Telegram works, on the left-hand side, we have the inputs. So what's coming from before it. On the right-hand side is the outputs. In other words, what it generates or what it pushes forward. They will always feel a little bit strange when you compare it to a beautiful, familiar Make. But it will make sense if you stick with it for a short period of time. So the resources file, what we're saying here is file ID. Now, 9 times out of 10, you have this choice between fixed and expression. You really probably will be leaning on expression more often than not, okay? And as you can see, I'm hovering over this. So unlike Make.com, where you can see the screen as it goes, this is you kind of grab and go. So what we're saying to this is, I want you to download the file that was just created. So I see this file ID, I'll hover over it, I can grab it, bring him over, and when it goes green, that means you can let go, just like that, and it's done. And then all times, you can test step like this. One thing I would say about N8N, it does make testing individual modules a lot easier to make. You have to bring it over. I mean, you can right click and run module, I guess. So to be fair, it isn't that difficult. Okay, awesome. And we've got that. Flipping cool. Next thing we want to do here, guys, is then just simply download that. So we're going to go for ChatGPT, OpenAI, beautiful. And then what we're going to go for here is transcribe a recording, like so. Transcribe a recording, which is great. And what's really cool here, guys, it's auto-populated data. So can you see on the left-hand side, this is just called data. So it's already done that for us. So if I test this step here, for instance, executes a node, yo, what's up? Give me the 411. As simple as that. And pretty much that's the first 3 steps already done. So the next stage you want to do now is add in the AI agent. And you'll notice when we built this in Make, we had kind of like, because we built linear agents, they went down different pathways, and there's advantages of that. But this N8N agent is going to be one guy that does have all these incredible tools plugged into him. So we come over here, we're going to type in AI agent. Cool, so we've got AI agent. We're going to click on him over here, which is awesome. All right, so let's start off with the chat model. Again, for this one, let's just do OpenAI. Oops. Now, you'll need to create a new credential. The way that you do that is you click on this, create new credential. It'll ask for an API key. To get that API key, we go to platform.openai.com. And on this page here, guys, you come down here, click on API keys, create a new secret key, give it whatever language you'd want to, like N8N, loads of stuff. You can then copy that key. We can then come back over to N8N, and we just type in the API key here. And it's all done there, and then we click on save. Awesome. So that credential has been created successfully. And once you've done that, guys, it will auto-select GPT-4 Mini. That's absolutely fine. You can use this button here to basically test proofs modules, but we don't need that right now. We come off, and then we've got the model, which is ACE. Now, memory's an interesting one, guys. We can do things like connect it to what we call Postgres. Don't worry about that for now. For the purposes of our personal assistant, using this thing here, which is the window buffer memory, is absolutely fine, and we won't really need to use anything else above that for just those purposes in the moment. That's okay. We come and click off, and we click OK there, which is good. So we've got the model that is going to power the agent. We've got this memory, which is going to be, it's kind of like retained memory for the conversations that we're going to have. And then we've got a list of tools that is going to flip and use, okay? Now, just to close off the loop, what I want to add at the end of this is just this ability to send us back a message. And then we're going to stack it up with different tools. So we come down here, we're going to type in Telegram. We're going to send a message. Let's have a look. Send a text message. That sounds pretty good to me. And the message is absolutely fine. Let's just test this step real quick. No input data yet, that's fine. And we got the chat ID. So question is, how do we find the chat ID? Guys, to find your information, you come over to raw data bot, start a chat like they did before, hit /start, and your chat ID and all the information will appear for you automatically. And all we simply do is copy that chat ID. Cool, so before we enter the information, just come off here. Let's just check the AI agent, for instance. Let's just hit play on him. Error in subnode window buffer memory, no session ID find. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so what this needs is we're gonna come down to define below in session ID, and then we've got the key for an expression, and let's click on mapping on the left-hand side. We come down to AI agent, and we're gonna look for Telegram trigger, which is fine. And for the session ID, guys, just add in, let's have a quick look, chat ID here, like that, which is gonna be into the key. Cool, beautiful, then come off, perfect. Then we come back over to AI agent. Let's just give them a little test step. No prompt specified, that's absolutely fine. So what we want to do, guys, in the prompt source is come down here, click on define below, and the text here is going to be on expression, and let's just grab this and bring it over here like so, and then we can simply test the step, excuse me. There we go, which is really cool. Come down to output. Yo, what's up? Give me the 411. Yo, not much. And it's giving us a little bit of an output, which is really flipping cool. Then we can come back over to our Telegram module over here. We'll double click on this guy. Chat ID, just enter the ID that you got from your Telegram bot. And then in terms of text, we click on expression and we just grab output and drop it in right there, and then enter your chat ID from Telegram. Cool, and I think, guys, we are ready to test the entire scenario. So click on test workflow like this, for example, come to Telegram. I've got the coffee guy, so let's ask it a really simple question like, hey, do me a favor, tell me what number comes after 235. We hit enter, it goes to the AI agent, and then let's have this. Sure thing, the number that comes after 235 is 236. Do you need help with anything else? Now, just to show you how the memory works, guys, let's just ask it the number that I just gave it. Hey there, do me a favor, what was the last number that I gave you? Now, this I think is really cool. I come down, I test the workflow, and what I do like about how this works, see, 235. So it has that memory already. So like it has, do you see what I'm saying? On the make scenario, we had to add that to Airtable and bring it back. What is nifty about N8N is the fact it will reach back and has that kind of retained memory, which I think is really flipping cool. Amazing. So we've done this. We've basically built a functional agent now. Obviously, there's other things we can do, like make it text only and split it out, but I just want to keep this very simple for your first automation on N8N. So what we're going to start doing now, guys, is adding in some tools and abilities to do different things. The first thing I want to give it access to is the beautiful internet. So to do that, we come down to tool, and you're going to type in SERP, which is the SERP API for Google search, and we click on this guy. Now, what you're going to need to do is come down and create a new credential, but it asks for an API key. Now, to get the API key, we're going to head over to the SERP API website. Okay, I'm on the SERP API website here, guys. You're going to come top right and click on register. Now, you can sign in with Google or whatever different platforms that you would like. And once you've done that, guys, you just need to validate your email address and your phone number. Now, for free, you get 100 searches a month with this API. We can also do different things like build tools to use Perplexity, but again, I just wanted to keep this extremely simple for you. And as you can see here, you need to verify your email, which I've already done, but if I just refresh this page, I should go straight through to the homepage now. Incredible. And as you can see down here, guys, you've got the private API key, and all you simply do is copy that API key and head back over to N8N. Cool, and then once you've selected that, guys, your credentials will be completely done, and we come off like this, and now it's got the beautiful SERP API key. So let's test this workflow and ask it a question it wouldn't know unless it was able to search the internet. So why don't we ask it something like, I don't know, what would it only know? How about this? List me 5 coffee shops that exist in Leeds with their address. Okay, beautiful, and we should see it's using the tool, which is awesome. It's using this model over here. It's making moves, and let's just see what it comes back with now. We give this a beautiful second. And look at this, guys. Lanes, La Bottega, and we've got Coffee Room from Leeds, which I think is, I've drunk at 2 of these places. La Bottega is phenomenal, and Lanes is good. Incredible. So it's now got this internet access, which I think is pretty flipping cool. So that's internet access, signed, sealed, and delivered. Let's do something else now about giving it the ability to create appointments. And you'll know from the last module that I did over here, one of the things we enabled it to do was to add things to Notion, which we can do here, create appointments, check appointments, all that sort of stuff. So if you want to replicate that in here, all we do, we hit this plus tool. We're gonna go for Google Calendar tool, like so. Now the first thing you want to do here is add your own credentials, and that's a tiny bit complicated, so I'm going to show you exactly how that works step by step. Cool, guys, so the first thing we're going to do is sign in with Google, so select on this and enter your email address and password. And once you're under the Google Cloud Console, guys, you're going to select a project in the top left. You can create anyone that you want to, it really depends on what you'd like. So we'll call this one here new project at the top. Let's call this one build together. Oh, you can call it N8N or whatever you'd like to. Come down and then click on create in the bottom left hand side. Beautiful. Now that's done, guys, click on select project to make sure that that is the one that is fully loaded up, which is fantastic. Gonna come back off this, close this down for a second, and as you can see, we know it's the right one here because we've got build together in the top left hand side. Cool, guys, on this page, just Control F API. You'll see down here explore and enable APIs like so, which is awesome. And then come down on the left hand side and click on OAuth consent screen to load this page up right here. Beautiful. So I'm going to do external because I've got my own domain, but otherwise it'd be internal. We come down and we click on create. We give it the app name. We'll call this one N8 and build together. And crucially, guys, what's really important is you add in your email address into the support email. So here, for example, I'm going to type in this one here, which is my name. No worry for logo, app domain is fine, developer contact information. Authorized domain is really important, so click on add domain. You're going to type in n8n.cloud, which basically means that n8n can use and access this, which would be phenomenal. Developer contact information, I'm just going to use the same email address I did before, if it would let me copy it, which it is not doing, so let me just enter that one here. At AI automations. Beautiful, phenomenal. Click on save and continue. Once you've entered the email address in, that's fine. It's going to come down. Sensitive scopes, no worries about that for the moment. Come down, save and continue. That's absolutely fine. Test users, yes, that's fine. I'm going to enter in my information there again once more. Click on add. That's awesome. Beautiful. And we've been added in. Then come down, click on save and continue. That's fine. Scroll all the way down and click on back to dashboard at the bottom. Once we've landed, hey guys, let's head over to the library and select the things we want to use. So for this particular case, it's going to be Google Drive. Top one here, Google Drive API. Dun, 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 dun. Come down, click on enable, which is flipping cool. Let that load up for a second. Phenomenal, and then we'll come back. And also, guys, I guess anything else you want to add here at this stage, you can do. One of the things we'll be doing is Gmail. So let's add in Gmail API on top of that. Click on this, pretty much the same as before. Enable, blah, blah, blah. All the Google Cloud stuff that you could possibly want to connect, you may as well at this stage just add it all in, which is cool. That'll load up, and that is flipping complete. Decent. Now we're going to head over to credentials on the left-hand side. So here we come down and click on create credentials. It's OAuth client ID that we're going to need for this one. Application type is web application, web name client. Again, call this N8N build together, which is cool. And then we've got these two things down here. The key one is authorized redirect URIs. And guys, if you come back to N8N, you should physically see this URI. I haven't got it because I'm already in there, but basically it is this one here, which is decent. And we come down and then we click on create. That is pretty much almost the end of the process. And then guys, on this page here, you got client ID and client secret, and all you do is copy those two things over, and then paste it into N8N, and that will connect you to all of the Google Cloud services. Cool, and then once we're connected, this here is where we can start to configure some of the things we'd like Google Calendar to do for us. So what sort of stuff do we actually physically want them to do? Well, let's have a good look over here. So set automatically, let's get it to create, let's select our calendar, let's select the calendar invite here, start date. Now, this is a cool thing here, okay? So what we want to do is come down to expression. Now, anytime we want the AI to fill in the information, the really cool thing we can do is just enter this in here like that. Beautiful, and end date. Again, we'll just fill in the exact same thing for us right there. Oops, come down. That's because we need to click on expression, I believe. Okay, ace, type that one in there as well. Decent, beautiful, beautiful, perfect, come down. And pretty much, guys, that's the only thing it needs. The only other one that we may want to add in there, if we come down to add field, click on attendees. And again, expression, let's just type in the exact same thing there as a placeholder. And pretty much you can keep on adding these fields of things you'd want. Like, do you want location? Do you want summary? So let's say you want the summary of what we're talking about. Okay, decent, come down here. Beautiful, all the placeholder for AI to figure out, which is decent. And then if we come off here, we can just literally end this one here. Now, what we're going to want to start doing, guys, is giving some context and information to this AI agent about its purpose and the kinds of tools it has available to it. Now, I've got a full-on AI agent template that you can use. Again, this is all available down below in the School community, but basically it's a really cool, handy thing. You can set out all the scopes, all the things it can be responsible for, and it will create you a beautiful, detailed template that you can use to pretty much include that, and it'll know exactly what it's doing. And basically what you do, guys, come into ChatGPT or Claude and say, hey, using this template, give this agent the following abilities. And for that, for example, it would be internet search. Whoops. You know, create appointments, check appointments. Be things like search database for knowledge. And we could also say create and send emails. Boom, enter the template, go down, and then we can actually wait for a response to come back and then use that actually within the N8N system. And the cool thing with this template here, guys, is it actually specifies it to use good examples and bad examples. You can check in a context document here. In fact, I'd recommend that you give all of this to the to ChatGPT or Claude, whoever, when you're actually giving it the prompt, so it can really give you some specific stuff. And because it's our personal assistant, we want it to work really flipping well. So this template, we've just used the ChatGPT. Let's copy the output. Come over to our AI agent. I'm going to double click on him here. Tools agent, which is fine. And so on this AI agent, guys, what we do is we come down here to add option, and we're going to add a system message, which is basically all the information that we want. We enter all that beautiful stuff in there. Let's just get rid of this. And this specifies a role. And then the user message is just simply something that the user is going to speak to. So this is systemically what we want this AI agent to do. And then obviously the text is a variable thing that we get from the user, which is decent. We come off. Beautiful, phenomenal, fantastic. So let's just see if this works right now. Let's test it. So you're going to come down here. Let's test a workflow. Beautiful. Let's go up to Telegram. Let's ask it to create an appointment for us. Hey, do me a favor. I'd like you to create an appointment for me. Oh, you know what? Actually, in fact, one of the things we need to do with this AI agent is give it the ability to know what date it is. As you remember from the scenario I did earlier on my last channel, on my last video, we basically need to give it a date. So let's come over here and do that. So where are we now? We're here. Okay, beautiful. Click on this. And we should probably say on the role, let's just say, hey, the current date is... Okay, beautiful. So the current date is, you can enter this expression here. There we go. Come in. I think we'll put that in expression, right? Okay, beautiful. There you go. So now I'll know exactly what the date and time is. Phenomenal. So if I say, hey, do it today, it will have context of what that is, which is flipping cool. So let's run this one more time. It's waiting for trigger event. Let's come over here. Hey, my guy, do me a favor, create an appointment for me tonight at 7 p.m. with Adam. His email address is adam@adam.com. The appointment's going to be about how delicious coffee is. Thank you. Beautiful. That's done. OpenAI's done it. Uses chat model, which is good. Let's see if it'll go down and create a calendar event for us. Okay, it's had some kind of failure, which is cool. It seems I encountered a problem with setting the appointment. Could you please confirm the date for the appointment you mentioned tonight, which would be the 16th of October, 2023. So let's find out what happened and troubleshoot. Bad request. Please check your parameters. Okay, cool. Let's have a quick look at that. Okay, cool. So what we need to do here is specify what we want, basically what it's actually filling out. So I'm going to enter in this thing here, come down to expression, which is fine. It's undefined. Don't worry about that. Date to start at the event. Okay, that's fine. And let's just do the same one down here. Just copy this, paste this one here. We'll put end date to finish the event, which is fine. Attendees, again, just same thing down here. Attendees, who's coming to the event. So we're basically just giving it the context of what should go in each one. Come down, summary, and then here we'll just say what the event is about. Cool, beautiful. All right, decent. We come back off this. Decent, let's try this one more time. Come down, test workflow, come over. Hey, book me appointment this afternoon with Adam at outlook.com. We're going to be talking about coffee. Okay, sweet. Let's see if this works. Phenomenal. Event has been created. It's finished. We come back over. Let's check on Telegram, see what it's done. And has it done it? It has. Wow, look at this, guys. 7 to 8 p.m. Discussion about delicious coffee. Attendees at Adam at outlook.com. Location, link below. And we can even view the appointment. So I click on this and open it up. Let's see what we get. And guys, would you look at this? We've got discussion about delicious coffee. It's 7 to 8 p.m. And if I scroll out, oh my goodness. And guys, look at this. It's got his exact thing in there. So not only has it done this for us, but like in our flipping scenario, it's actually sent everything through, which I think is freaking crazy that it can do this. I mean, this is unbelievable stuff, guys. If you want to think like AI agents in the future has 100% arrived. So we can start to do the exact same things now with Google. I'll just do that very quickly just to show you as a quick for instance. Come down to Gmail, consume the Gmail API, that's decent. Again, you should have exact access to this based on the steps that we did do before. We'll come down, set automatically, message send. Let's just say this one, we want it to, I don't know, get many, which is fine. Limit of 50, that's absolutely fine. Set automatically, which Gmail account is it? I've already connected mine here. Set automatically, that's decent. Let's execute previous nodes right here. Okay, decent. We come down and let's just see if we can find out what our last email was. For example, test workflow. Come over here. Hey, what was the last email that I got? Thank you. Okay, beautiful. Testing it. We'll come and check Gmail for us. It did check Gmail. Let's come back and see what it says. And guys, would you look at this? From the rundown AI, this is a subject line, blah, blah, blah. And guys, what we could do is say, hey, respond to this. And we can add in create a Gmail. So hopefully this stage you can get just how flipping crazy and epic this thing is. So what you've done now, let's take a step back. You've connected it to Telegram. You've now got a system, your own AI agent, which we need to call and work on branding with this guy. But apart from that, what can he do? He has a memory, okay? So he knows what's happened recently. He's able to go onto the internet and find information out for us. They can do things like calendars. They can do things with our Gmail. The next thing I want to now add into it is the ability for it to access a database. Now to do this, what we first want to do is find a way of actually giving unique information to this database and building it in the first place. Now to do that, we're going to head over to Pinecone to create our vector database. So you can head over to pinecone.io. You're going to see this very 2000s corporate looking website. We're going to head over here and hit on login. Now I've got a couple of databases here. What I'm going to do just for the purpose of this video is delete. So let me delete this one here. Let me type in Christmas and get rid of this guy. All right, beautiful. He's gone. He's out of here. We don't need him anymore. We come down here, we click on create index. We can call this one NA10 or whatever you like to. Come down, serverless is fine, AWS is fine, Virginia US East is fine. We do need to select one thing, which is text embedding 3 small for the purposes of this. Come down and create index. Now, this index here, guys, is going to be essentially the epicenter of where we upload our information. So this could be every piece of information you got from your emails. It could be websites. It could be anything so that when we are speaking to our agent, we are able to recall all of this data and information and have that directly available for us like Jarvis. So we may give it the Jarvis update. We may say, I want you to speak to me like Jarvis, dude, because we're flipping Iron Man right now. So we've got this beautiful Pinecone thing here at A10. Incredible. Come back over to our workflow. Now, what we need to do is add a new trigger. Now, one of the other interesting things about N here, guys, is the fact that you can have multiple triggers happening within one environment, which I think is pretty interesting. So when you come down here, we're going to go in for Google Drive. If I can find it here. Beautiful, Google Drive. Now, what I want it to do is, let's have a look here for triggers. So let's just open up these triggers. We're looking for on changes to involving a specific folder, okay, which is decent. So come down here, select our credential. I will basically create a new one here. And then you're going to come down, enter client ID, secrets, that sort of stuff. And then you're going to sign in with na10.cloud and click allow. Beautiful. Account is phenomenally connected. That's exactly what we like to see. You can check how frequently you'd like it to check it. Now, just take a step back. What's going to happen here, guys, if I come off this for a second, all right, is a file is going to be created. We're going to download that file and then we're going to throw it in this database. This is going to create an embedding, a unique reference key for the purposes of this. And then we've got the data default loader and then the recursive text splitter. That's it. And whatever the document is, we'll just download it and do its magic. So let's come over here, for example. Beautiful. Changes on specific folder. That's absolutely fine. Let's pick the folder here. Let that load up for a moment. I'm going to say Jack's YouTube. It's absolutely fine. Select. And what we're going to say is file. Basically, we're going to say file created. Then we can do different things like the file's been updated and we can replace it. We can upsert things. But just to keep this very simple for you to get it functional and working, which is really important. We're all about the stuff that works. We want to make sure it works for us perfectly. So come down here and then we're going to do a fetch test event. So to find a document that's been uploaded there previously. And just as a quick FYI, when you do want to download this, guys, all you ever have to do in the community is you come over down here to Classroom, you come over to every AI automation. On the left-hand side, you have every single automation that I've ever done. And all you do, guys, is you come down here, you pretty much download the scenario, you upload it, and then you get the full scenario there, ready to rock and roll for rock and rolling. Good time. But one thing I'm really proud about our group is how freaking supportive and active it is. If you have any questions, we're on it, we're making life happen, we friggin' love it. Because ultimately, it's about the stuff that actually works. We need to get the stuff that really makes a difference and moves the needle. So this is pulled down something that I uploaded previously to this folder, which is good display data, and that's absolutely fine. That's just what this document's about. Okay, cool, and we've got all the great information there. Phenomenal, great. So let's bring this Google Drive trigger down here. Next thing I wanted to do is just to simply download the file. So we come over to Google Drive, once again, phenomenal. Click on this guy, click on download a file, phenomenal. And again, all we're going to do, guys, as you can see, download from list. No, we're going to download by ID. Click on this guy, click on expression, and let's see if we can find the ID. If we come down to the schema, which is cool, come down, let's find out where the ID is. I believe it is just down here. There you go, ID. Bring this one over. Phenomenal. So that will then download it by ID. We click on test step as a quick for instance. Okay, that's not worked because there's no file. So let me head over to the drive very quickly. I know where that's happened. It's because I deleted that particular thing. So it's not Jack's YouTube. We want N8N. So basically you can create a unique folder for this if you want to. N8N agent, that's cool. Fetch test event. That's brought something through. Click on download a file and let's test a step here, for example. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Let's go over to the actual folder. Cool, so I've redone this one now with a file on Singer Enterprises, which was, if you're curious by the way, just some fake thing I did in a previous automation, which is about creating unique bespoke PDFs. So we've got this beautiful PDF here. Cool, we come back over to our scenario, we come off this guy here, come over to Google Drive to download the file. Let's just test this one for instance. Okay, I wonder if that's because we've not given it the right ID. So let's come down here, for example, bring this ID over. It's a JSON ID, that's cool. Test this one more time. And would you look at that, guys? It has actually worked. Usually, it's zigging when it should zag. But cool, let's just click on view, for example, and then we've got the exact same folder there, which is flipping cool. Now, the next thing we want to do, guys, is add it to Pinecone. Let's come down here like so. Click on this. We're going to type in Pinecone vector store. That's exactly right. And you're going to click on this add document to vector store. Beautiful. First of all, embedding. Now, do you know I told you we pick on that we chose that small one? We're just going to do the exact same thing. So we come down here, embeddings, OpenAI embeddings, text embedding 3 small. If you chose a large one, you might have guessed it. You just picked the large one, but that's absolutely flipping cool. That's decent. And then here we got the document section. Click on that there. You want the default data loader, which is fine. But instead of JSON, I just want to come down here and select binary. Load all input data is absolutely fine. Automatically detect by the MIME type. That means that based on the document it will do its magic here and upload it, whether it's PDF or a document, it will figure all that work out for us itself. Once that's done, we're gonna come off and click out of that, which is cool. And then we can come down here for text splitter. And we're gonna go recursive character text splitter. Chunk size is 1,000. So this is basically like, let's say you have like Harry Potter, okay? Like how many chunks do you want it in? Let's just Harry Potter, say it's 1,000,000 characters. Let's say we say, I want you to chunk it every 1,000 characters. The chunk overlap is, let's say we have 0 to 1,000 is number 1. Number 2 would start at 900 to 1,900. So basically we have this beautiful overlap to give it context in terms of what it should be pulling. So for chunk overlap, I'm gonna call it 200 for argument's sake. Come down here, that's absolutely beautiful. And then we'll click on our Pinecone vector store very quickly. You're gonna come down to insert documents here, and then we're gonna choose the Pinecone index. So we should see an N8A1 there. Phenomenal, fantastic. And guys, let's just test step as a moment of truth. I click on test step, excuse me. It's executed node. It has been completed successfully. So if we head over now to Pinecone, we should see this information about Singer Enterprises, which is in the PDF, by the way, which is really cool, in that actual database for us. So let's go check that out. So here we are, guys, N8N at the top. I come down, and what do we have, guys? Of course, it's information from Singer Enterprises. How flipping cool is that? And the beautiful thing about this, guys, is that this will run for us automatically now in the background. So once we basically activate this, whenever you upload any document to that G Drive, that's going directly to Pinecone and into knowledge base. The only thing we have to do now is give this guy the ability to reach over and grab that information to make sure it can answer your question. So to do that, we've got to add one final beautiful tool. So as you can see from this, guys, it's the vector store tool. So let's go ahead and do that right here. Come down here, add a tool. We type in vector store tool, which is decent. I'm going to give this one vector store. I think it needs to be all in one thing there. And then for the description, let's just say, hey, vector database with information, which is cool. And now we've got vector store and the model. So again, let's come for model. Let's go for OpenAI. Beautiful. That's absolutely fine. Fantastic. And we're going to bring him over here just because I like it to be nice and tidy, and it's a little bit not tidy at the moment. So we come over here and let me just add some notes. A little tip, by the way, guys, if you want to kind of help you understand what's going on, if you come top right, if you type in note, sticky note, you have this beautiful note, and you can actually move this guy around like this, which means it can help you understand exactly what you are looking at. And let's just call this one AI agent, because of all the things we are, guys, savages is not one of it, but a one asterisk is I think heading AI agent. Beautiful, cool. And I'll just add these other two real quick. Cool, this one's upload vector. Let's just change the color because we can't be having all be in the same color. Let's have a quick look. All right, cool. We've got upload vector. We've got this guy, AI agent. And finally, we've got our memory. Cool. So let's pick on the vector store right here. And for this one, we're going to do Pinecone, which is the Pinecone vector store. Phenomenal, from list. And you can just pick which vector store. And if you're building this for clients, guys, you can obviously just duplicate the scenario, choose one that they've got, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. We're going to go for N8N, which is flipping awesome. Fantastic. Come off this. And then finally, the last thing we need to do is add in an embedding. And you might have guessed it, guys. It's the exact same thing as before. Text embedding 3 small. Perfect. All right, cool. Now we come down here. We come here. Now, the last moment of truth is let's ask it a question that it couldn't possibly know unless it had access to our memory database. And finally, let me just add in one more note very quick, just so we are looking very beautiful and tasty and everything aligns. And again, it will take just a tiny bit of getting used to here, because it's a new software. Let's just say Retrieval. Beautiful. And of course, let's just give it a slightly different color. Let's give it this beautiful green. Phenomenal. So the moment of truth is that we run this AI agent and we ask it a question it would only never had access to that. So what would that be? Well, it's good to Singo Enterprises. Let's see the quarterly fee. So if I said, hey, with Singo Enterprises, what is the quarterly fee? I've never asked that question, so we know it works if it tells us it's 20,000. So test workflow. Here we go. Waiting for a trigger. Come over here. Hey, with Singo Enterprises, what was the quarterly fee? Cool. So we've tested that. Let's see AI agent. Let's see if it goes down to the vector store retrieval. It does. It's done some stuff, and we should see some information here. And guys, the quarterly fee for Singo Enterprises is £20,000 paid in advance. Is that true? Is it actually paid in advance? Let's have a look. It is. And guys, just like that, you have built a fully fledged AI agent, self-contained, and we've learned how to upload documents, its ability to retrieve those documents and use for you dynamically. And once you said this, it's completely there forever. Now, in school community, we're gonna go deeper about the things that work, how you can do things like monetize this, sell it to different agencies, or just build the ultimate productivity tool. But in any case, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and it is a different technology than we normally use on the channel, so I hope you follow along. Any questions, let me know down below. But in any case, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video.